This Druid doesn't play by the rules. Someone's going to jail. Even though the metagame may not be evolving in the ways that we would like, I have to say that the decks that we're playing in this expansion are extremely fun, and I'm not gonna lie, Mosh Druid actually has to be one of my favorite archetypes that's emerged from this expansion. Number one, because it uses Tony, King of Piracy, but number two, and it's not even a new card, it's one of the only decks that can unironically use Jailer in one of the most powerful ways that you can utilize this card. There's a couple of different ways of being able to win with this deck, so if you like this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. And one other thing that I do have to point out real quick, guys, we are almost 40 subs away from 10K. So if you guys really want to help us reach that goal, I'm hoping that we can hit this in the next 48 hours before 420, just because I think it'd be really funny. This deck is not as easy as you would like it to be, but when you learn how to play this deck, it's a colossal amount of fun. The biggest issue that I've had with Druid in this expansion is how exactly do we utilize the hero power cards, and well, this deck actually uses the hero power cards as your early game, but it's more important to build up the hero power so that way you're actively using it to remove board as well as to gain armor. So when you have, you know, both of your Groovy Cats killed and both of your Free Spirits killed, then you have a 5/5 hero power, which makes, you know, Rakes extremely useful. This is going to be one of your best cards to utilize in order to beat up the aggro decks that you'll be experiencing in your climb, because you need to try and make sure that when you're playing up against aggro, you are denying the most important minions, because what's important against aggro is making it to turn, well 10 mana I should say, but you get to 10 mana. Once you're at 10 mana, you can play Mishmash Mosher into Eterniate Maw in order to give him immunity, so that way he will completely wipe out the entire board no matter what it is, unless there are death rattles attached to it, because then, you know, after all the attacks go off, then the death rattles will go off. So if your opponent has like an egg or something, they're still gonna have a 3/3. But this minion will become extremely large. No aggro deck is really gonna be able to deal with this unless it's Frosty K freezing it. And then you're going to be able to set up like a gigantic win, if that doesn't work, by setting up a taunt win condition. And this will be coming up in one of the clips coming up, where the way that you can win is by playing a Nubercon into Underkings, and if you have enough armor afterwards, then you want to play, try and play your Zoc Fogsnout. This card is absolutely game-ending against aggro, because there's almost no aggro deck that can deal with like 420 taunts, and yes, they quite literally come out to like 420 minions, so that's why it's really funny that I want to get 10k subs before 420, so make sure you hit that sub button down below. But regardless, the way that you don't win, another way that you can win is if you want to go all in with the Jailer combo, and this is where another one drop is very important. Armor Vendor. Armor Vendor 100% goes in this deck, so that way there are certain turns to where you want to try and like do your Nubercon combos and play Tony and Jailer in the same turn. But in order for that to happen, you need 15 armor. So Armor Vendor beforehand will be an extremely good useful tool, but this is a little bit of a setup, but let me go ahead and explain it. So perfect case scenario, you play Summer Flower Child in order to find 7 mana Bracon. So for 7 mana, you are gaining 8 armor. But before that, you want to play your Armor Vendor. You can play 1 Armor Vendor into Hero Power for 5 armor. That puts you at 9. A Nubercon will gain 8. And then that way you will have enough armor in order to play the Jailer, Tony, as well as Eterniate Maw for exactly the 17 armor. It's a perfect win condition. It's a perfect win condition. And even when even if you don't have like this Tony combo, you don't have to do it all in one turn. You can set it up over the course of 2 turns as long as the matchup, you know, is relevant in that regard. But that is the major combo win condition in order to take out the decks like Blood Decay and Control Priest, so you just need to try and build up a lot of armor. However, if you can't build up armor with Armor Vendor, that's why your Underkings are extremely important, because there is a situation where you could potentially a Nubercon into Underking, kill off the Underking, it gives you like 12 armor, and if you already have enough armor stacked, then you can play Tony into Jailer, and then play Eterniate Maw onto the Tony. And guys, I might have already mispronounced this once, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say this for the sake of the video, but you need to play Tony first. Don't be like me. I was an idiot the very first time that I played this combo, and I played Jailer into Tony, then silenced the Tony, and then got my own Fatigue deck back. So in order to do this combo first, you have to play Tony first, so that way you take your opponent's deck, you then destroy their deck, then give it back to them, so that way they are taking the fatigue, and since your hero power is hopefully gaining you like 5 armor as well as dealing 5 attack, you are preventing your own fatigue by 5 every turn while accelerating their fatigue by 5. So I really don't see a reason why we need to try and set up this convoluted combo where you steal the opponent's deck, which is very well possible, but just the steps required to do it are just not worth it at the end of the day, when the main win conditions of this deck is build up gigantic wall in order to keep the aggro out, or to destroy their deck, force them to take fatigue damage, and then use your hero power in order to seal out the game for the rest of the game, because then they only have the cards in hand as well to utilize for the rest of the game while you're charging your hero powers. So I think that Moss Druid is one of the most fun decks that you can be playing right now. However, it's not the best suited against the meta, as well as it not being the easiest deck to play. So if you're gonna craft this, make sure you're crafting it more so for fun, but there are people in top 100 Legend that are doing very well with this deck, so there's potential for it. But just know that when nerfs happen, maybe in like the next week or two, then this deck's stonks are definitely going way up. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this kind of content, feel free to like this video and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be notified about any of our future updates. Just to let you know, the clips up ahead aren't going to be edited like they usually are, because I was actually listening to Tool Mario. That's right, it is Tool tracks with Mario 64 sound effects and music. And it sounds actually perfect. So if I splice up the audio, it's gonna kind of sound off for that reason. But for this kind of deck, it is very important for you to plan out your turns. So I believe that leaving the entire clip unedited is a good way for you guys to kind of like see all the options that are possible and then choose the best one, because this is the issue with this deck. It's not that the plays that you're making are necessarily bad, but they may not be the best play, or you may not be setting up the right win condition for certain matchups. So this is a deck that requires a little bit of finesse and a little bit of, you know, background knowledge, I guess. So that way you're not just blatantly throwing percents against like the aggro deck when you're trying to set up a combo, for example. But just know your win conditions, play taunt against aggro, and if you can destroy their deck, do it, but you just want to focus on that taunt win condition. And against combo, draw your deck, gain armor, do the combo, destroy their deck, make them take fatigue. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this deck intro, and I'll see you for the next video. Has nothing to do with anything else except to make more money, and it's just like, come on, dude. It's a literal news station. Not quoting, it's another word where it's simplifying. It's not that either. I literally can't think of the word right now. I think it's a C word. Where it's like spitballing. I'm just gonna paraphrasing. That's paraphrasing. Thank you. Paraphrasing. Why did I think it was a C word? Yes, paraphrasing. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. I'm paraphrasing, but essentially what happened, Fox News was cherry-picking information to put onto the air, so that way it would make more money because more people would tune in. And that kind of shit is, when it comes to news isn't supposed to be entertaining. It's supposed to be informative. I don't care. You can have entertaining news about, you know, news about entertainment, for example. But the moment you start, you know, moving shit around, like, come on, dude. Come on. It's the news.
For the wilds.
Yeah, Alex Jones would be Clark's PR man. Let's not do that. That guy is currently being sued for, like, I think literally billions of dollars. Literally? Like, actually, maybe not exaggerating. I think he's literally been sued for over $1 billion. Like, what do you do after that? What do you literally do after that? If you owe millions of dollars, like, how do you get a job in order to pay that off? That's actually, like, this is a very legitimate question. I'm not trying to throw shade, but, like, what happens when you are sued for hundreds of millions of dollars? You don't have that. How do you pay that back? Dude? You gotta sell more pills. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, keep on grifting and scamming. That's how you make your money back, dude. Oh my god. There's not enough wiener pills in the world in order for him to get it, in order for him to pay back what he owes. Yeah, bankruptcy, then the government pays it. Then, jeez, man, that doesn't sound like a good option either. Yo, what's going on, Enzo? Good to see you here, man. Hundreds of millions. Oh my god. What do you even, like, okay, imagine, like, going into, like, the Taco Bell being like, I am hundreds of millions of dollars in debt and I need a job. Oh man, how the mighty have fallen. Alrighty, what does this get me? It doesn't give me attack yet, but ramping up is definitely the way to go right now. So we'll go ahead and pop the balloon. no point hitting him. Alrighty. Legitimately, your system is so fucked that you can declare bankruptcy and start. Yeah, that's true. I guess there always is that cop-out. I watch Alex Jones highlights all the time. He's so insane, so he's so entertaining. I mean, exactly. If you watch him in that aspect where you know that the dude is crazy, like turn the freaking frogs gay, that's funny, okay? There's no way that you can look me in the eyes and tell me that quote is not hilarious, okay? And the hilarious part is that he's genuine, or at least he appears genuine during it. Not for student loans. I mean, not yet. Not yet. Okay, so what are we actually doing here? Sorry, I'm too busy shitting on Alex Jones right now. He's just too easy of a target. All right, here we go. 3 mana hero power, 3 attack hero power when this dies. I'll go ahead and do this so that way the cat dies. Sorry, animal abuse, guys. Oh, okay, thank you, game. It's not animal abuse. I'm not the JoJo villain of this episode. Should I craft this deck for Diamond and Legend push? I have the dust to craft this, and I am broke. If it's the rest of your dust, don't craft this deck. If it's the rest of your dust, do not craft this deck. I will say it twice. This is a hard deck to pilot. It's fun. I'll give you that. It's a very fun deck. But if you're trying to just climb the Legend, this is not the way that it'll go. I don't think this will be nerfed, no. Demon Hunter, Death Knight, and Paladin are the 3 classes that need to be dealt with right now. Low-key Rogue as well. Because Rogue is going to then become, like, turbo insano nuts. Okay, so we have to play around, what's it called? Objection. Nerd. Oh, wait a minute. Oops. I'm the nerd now, because whoops.
A natural mistake.
Okay, whatever. Whatever, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Don't worry about it, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, guys. I've never misplayed a game in my life, okay? I've never misplayed a game in my entire life. You guys are just haters, okay? You guys are just haters. What cards should be buffed? Warrior, and maybe let's buff some warrior cards. Yeah, I think those are 3 good ideas for buffs. Let's buff warrior 3 times to make up for the fact that warrior has drowned and sunken city. Please, Garrosh, he's been dead for years, dude. And people are, and we never had a funeral. That YouTube comment from yesterday still rings so true. We literally shot Garrosh in the back and we never had a funeral for him. Yeah, 0 cost riff. It might get to that point. It might literally get to that point, dude. Oh, wait a minute. It's just time to mosh, guys. It's just time to mosh. I'm so angry because warrior isn't playable. I'm so angry that my warrior isn't playable. And all the damage is gonna go into the mosher, right? Right? Really? There are 3 minions. And I swear to God, this game, dude. Clark, I'm cracking the code to Menagerie in Rage Hybrid. Are you, Enzo? Lay it on me. My favorite thing is when he started talking to a bunch of testosterone boosters and would scream, tear off his shirt randomly in the middle of arguments. Oh my God. Might as well wait. Yeah, I mean, if you're waiting for the safest decks to craft, then yeah, you could technically wait until the next balance patches go live. I'm assuming something might happen in the next 2 weeks, but nothing to where I can be like, oh yeah, for sure, wait. Let's go Jailer? No. No, Jailer is not the way here. Jailer is not the way here. Because then he's just gonna hit me in the face and then I'm just gonna lose. I need to gain armor. So we're actually doing this into 1 mana draw 2. We found the Flower Child, but we already have like all the wait, hold on a minute. Now I have a Nupercon.
Time waits for no one. For the wild.
Hit a minion. Thank you. All right. So now my idea is to build a. We're gonna build a wall again, guys. We're gonna build a gigantic wall, and this mage is never gonna hit us again. All right. Because we're gonna gain a whole bunch of armor. And we're gonna throw out the biggest wall possible. Dude, I really want to add ETC to this deck, seriously. So true thing about Warrior though, they crucified Warrior in the Sunken City. Oh my god. Literally everyone in the Hearthstone community was also yelling crucify him too, so it didn't help. You could literally make a freaking I mean the joke makes itself. We are Judas and Karash is Jesus. Okay, hold on a minute. How are we winning this game? It's just make big wall. Right? Just make big wall. So we gain, wait, hold on a minute. We gain 8. We have 2, go to 10. Net -1, net -1. We still have 8 for this. I know, this slaps so hard. It doesn't need to go this hard, but it does. And I love it for it. Alright, so we just make big wall. I guess, technically speaking, these could kill another, could kill here. But never lackey. Oh, I didn't hear a power. Whoops! Okay, that was actually a big mistake because these would have had 4 attack. Whatever. Whatever, this is still good. This is still good. How are they going to get past the wall? The only way they can deal with this is if they have all the frozen touches going face. And he also hasn't played spell damage yet. Once a board dies, I've got Mishmasher to clear, and then hopefully we could just hit him in the face with what we've developed here. What about Inner Fire? Wait, what does WTB mean? Want to buy? Oh, want to buy Inner Fire. I get it now. I did some mistake my first time with that combo. I literally fucked up super hard with the combo yesterday, dude. Do I want to see your hybrid list? Yeah, Enzo, send it to me in chat. I want to buy MMOs. Okay, gotcha. That makes sense since World of Warcraft. Okay, hold on a minute. Is this time the Jailer? Like, unironically, is this time the Jailer? Because we could trade this here, gain armor, play Jailer, trade, hit him in the face, take his deck. But then I don't have the taunts anymore. What about Zola to copy the Anubricon? Hard running Zola in the deck, I'm not sure about. What is Tony used for? To destroy... Okay, you play Tony, destroy their deck, play Jailer... I'm sorry. You play Tony, play Jailer, destroy their deck, then silence Tony with Eternia Maw to give them the destroyed deck. So that way they are immediately taking fatigue and you still have your deck. That is what this deck is trying to do. And I think it's actually trying to play the Jailer. I wish these things had more attack, but... Oh, wait! Fuck! No. This is actually wrong. I should have traded the 1-1. Alright, yeah, hold on a minute. This is why this deck is hard to play, because you forget little things like this! Port space! It's so fun, though. It's still a fun deck. Still a really fun deck. I'm still working out the kinks, but this is definitely the list. Wait, Ramath? Wait, he played Asphyxiate. He's literally making room on the board. Oh my god. He's literally making room on the board. Did he have another destroy card? What was the secret? The secret was objection. Yeah, a lot of people are playing this deck. It's really good. When it works, it's extremely good. Okay, so I have to play Groovy Cat, have it get countered, then I play this, and then I mosh everything. It sucks that... Wait a minute, but I can just Tony. I can literally just Tony. We don't need to clear this, because... Oh my god, we're just gonna play Tony. Do this, play Tony. Hero power, win game. And if he ends up getting lucky with another Asphyxiate, it won't kill Tony. Zaka's a must-craft? If you're gonna play this deck, yes. It's literally one of your win conditions. That's why it's super important. Okay, so play around objection. Lul Tony. If I would have traded this, we would have guaranteed won the game, by the way. So if I lose this game, this deck still technically won, but we're just big dumb. So now we do this. Hero power. Trade to this stuff. Doesn't really matter. He's taking 1 damage anyway, but the fatigue is definitely there. Yeah, Rarin suggested this. This is the deck that he hit Legend with. And GG. Alright, I technically screwed that up. I technically screwed that up, guys. Technically screwed that up, but this is like the best version of this deck, I believe. Maybe you put in ETC, but I think it's just unnecessary. You are allowed to target your own immune minions. Your opponent cannot target them. They're not, you know, cards that are immune to hero powers or spells. Jailer Tony, you keep their deck. Well, yes, but not every single situation. Against control, you can do that. Against control, against control, like, you keep the cards in your deck, so as long as you're not decked out, you destroy their deck and they're taking fatigue. That is more important than taking their deck. That is way more important than any cards that you can find from them. Because it's harder to do that against control. You need, like, the perfect Anubercon combo. And sometimes you don't have the armor to do that. But that is a win condition you can do, and that's why this deck is super fun. Because it's not just Astalor combo, you know? It's not just draw the cards, play the 3 cards, play Brand, Lamau, win game. It takes a little bit of thinking. Because sometimes you gotta build the wall. We need to build the wall. Make the Paladins pay for it, because they literally don't pay for their light rays. They've been scamming the US for years. Our light ray stonks are significantly lower because these bastards keep cheating it out for 0 mana. They make all the profits. While we're just sitting here with 5/5s on the field. By the way, what's going on, Luke? Good to see you here, mate. Got flexibility for opponent too. Not that I'm good enough to pilot it. Yeah, this is a deck where you really have to think about your odds. Well, he's playing mechs? Mech Paladin. Okay, hold on a minute. Unexpected, but let's go. Let's go. Rake? Rake seems a little unnecessary right now. This is Tony Druid. Yes. Yes, it is Tony Druid. I love Tony Druid. Tony's just such a cool guy, you know? I knew him back in high school. I don't know why he became the Pirate King. He wasn't that kind of person back in the day. He was very nice. But I guess something bad happened to Tony where he had to steal from people. I feel bad for Tony, but he's still my friend. Why does Clark sound more coherent when he's joking about this and Fox News sounds when they actually talk about this? Because not even Fox News believes the bullshit that they're spewing out. That's why. They're reading it from a prompter, and you can see it on their faces, being like... That's why. Lul. I don't think Zola's a good idea. Zola would be a good idea if we ran ETC, but I don't think we can afford to run ETC. Okay, so what is, like, the greedy play? The greedy play would be coining into Nourish this turn to gain mana. So we don't do that. We need to knock this out so it doesn't become a problem. So we'll go ahead and use Rake here because we need to destroy this. I also get to draw more cards. I guess I could technically play this in order to contest this minion, but... the reason why Armor Bender is really important in this deck is because sometimes... if you have, like, say you have, like, 7 mana Anubercon that you got from the Flower Child, you can Hero Power into Armor Bender, and then Anubercon will hopefully be able to do Jailer and Tony in the same turn. Because if you have 5 armor, and then you gain another 4 off of this, so you're already at 9. 9 plus 8, 17. 17 is literally a perfect amount for Jailer plus Tony plus Attorney at Maw. So that's why Armor Bender is kind of insane in this deck. Although against the Paladin, are we literally just gonna tempo Jailer as ASAP? So this needs to die. He summons a bunch of 1/1s. The next card he's gonna play is gonna get +7/+7. Wait. Whatever he plays, I can just silence it. So with that in mind, we do it this way, so that way all of the buffs go on one card. We'll silence it. Or wait a minute. Oh, if I had like an Innervate, I could have like done this against like the big minion. But then again, silencing it is better because he summons a bunch of 1/1s. So you're just gonna take... Why are you being so greedy with the weapon? Homie, dude, you wanna just... Dude, that was like 14 damage. This guy is being super greedy, my god. Wait a minute.
What to do?
If I do this into this.
And the husks break your hearts. Our tunnels run deep
Break it, you guys!
underfoot.
So I can play these two. Wait, no, I can only play one.
Music is the truth. Just listen.
I didn't have the mana. I didn't have the way to... I didn't have the possibility of doing that. I didn't have 15 armor. I just wanted to make the biggest taunts possible because again, like this is... He's getting +10, but whatever is getting the buff is gonna get silenced. Or honestly, I could just mishmash Moxture for a really big card. Oh my god, this is so gimmicky. ETC is a bit of a meme. 4 mana to pick 3 extra cards and be frustrated you can only pick 1. I mean, but that's why you have 3 different situations for, you know, different win conditions. But the problem with ETC is that it's unnecessary because you're going to win anyway. It just ends the game faster, but you take up a valuable card slot. Like, yeah, I could automatically win with an ETC, but there's probably a way that I could just, like... Okay, so we're not playing Jailer, obviously, because that gets rid of the taunt. This is really weird, though. Wait a minute. No, I see the line. Oh my god, I'm a genius.
Tasty morsel. Client is...
GG. Yeah, I heard how Gabby got banned. I heard how Gabby got banned, and as funny as it is, it's honestly a tragedy. Because I don't think like someone from Twitch heard that and was like, oh, gotta ban Gabby. I think someone reported him for that, and the automated thing just automatically did it because they don't mess around with that kind of stuff. That's the only reason why it's like I'm all for any kind of joke. I like dark humor. I like you know, offensive humor. But I will not touch racist jokes because Twitch don't fuck around with that. So it's like, you just don't take the chance. You don't risk it. It's just like how you don't take certain risks in Hearthstone because the consequences are too detrimental.